everybody, I'm going to show you today the Groovemaster. This is what I use to clean my records with. Dr. Deadwax said, I should post a video, and a couple other people. They wanted to see how this system works. Basically, this is just a piece of hard plastic that a guy named William Sargent made. Great design. He tooled it himself, and one side does 33 records, and the other side does 7-inch, 45 RPM records. And basically what you do, it's a sink method of cleaning. You take it, you put it, the Groovemaster, together, and now you got this nice kind of handle to hold. And what you do is you wash now in the sink. Now, Dan from Canada, and a lot of you guys have, I know Rob has a VPI machine. If you got a lot of records, VPI vacuum cleaner is great. No doubt about it, you should get one. But some of us who are on a limited budget, this might be more of a solution that fits your means. And the idea is that plastic records, vinyl records, they're really sturdy. I mean, there's not much you can chemically do to them, but the grooves are microscopic, and they just trap everything. Dander, hair, dust, everything, and it gets lodged in there. And so when you hear them crackle on your records, usually it's because stuff is embedded in those grooves, and you can't even see it sometimes. You can't pull it up with a carbon fiber brush sometimes. So the idea is to get some warm water running and try to flush out the grooves as best you can, and that's what a Gem Dandy machine does as well. But basically, I'm the action, opposed to the Gem Dandy, where you got kind of a hose and a PVC pipe doing the same thing. So I'm just blasting out the record grooves right now. And other than that, basically the procedure is very close to what Wes already posted. I'll use my vinyl cleaner, which is 1/3 alcohol to 2/3 distilled water, with just a drop of Blue Dawn to act as a surfactant. And what that means is, the water wants to bead, so the Dawn is breaking that surface tension so it can get down deep in those grooves and lift up the stuff. Basically, the water is really what's cleaning it. The alcohol acts as a surfactant and as a kind of a degreaser, and it helps pull up the junk that's maybe in the bottom of the grooves and clean the fingerprints and oils and nicotine or whatever the album may have been exposed to over years. And this is a paint pad, an edger paint pad. You can pick these up for $2 at Home Depot. They've got really fine fibers and fantastic. It makes it really convenient here, and you can really pay attention to the lead-in groove. When you put the needle on the record, that first bit of crackle is what kind of sets the tone of, well, this record doesn't sound so great and I should have a better copy. But you spend your time really cleaning that, that's really going to help the experience. When people pull out records, they always kind of still grab it by the edge. Even though people have been around records for a while, sometimes they get stuck and your fingers still tend to touch the lead-in area. So focusing on that really helps. And since this stuff is made by you, it's it's real cheap. A gallon of distilled water is about 69 cents. The alcohol isn't too much money. You could use a lot more of it than you would with maybe a VPI, because you'd spill it all over the machine. So this, you can really saturate everything. And the alcohol that you want to use is 90% or better. When you go to a drugstore, the 70% alcohol actually has lanolin in it to kind of help people's hands not dry out. And you don't want that stuff in the groove. So 90% or better. I think Dr. Deadwax uses 99%. I don't know. I can't get that kind of stuff, at least not easily. So now I'm rinsing it with distilled water to clean off the stuff that floated to the surface, and then give it a good shake. Now, I've come up with a little vacuum attachment, a little different than what Wes and the guys, who DIY this stuff normally do. Vacuuming all this liquid up is, only going to help. It makes the record dry a lot faster, and, it sucks up any of that kind of junk that's in the grooves. But if you don't want to go that route, or, right now it's late, I'm not pulling out the vacuum just to do this. A couple of microfiber cloths. You can buy these in the automotive section at Walmart or whatever. That's probably going to get you 80 to 90% there. It'd be better if you vacuumed, but this will work just as well, or almost as well. So I sit here and I just dry the record. And I put it in a dish rack here. I'll let that air dry for about another 15 minutes. And when I'm ready, I'll put it in a new sleeve. I got these disc keeper sleeves from Sleeve City, polyvinyl sleeves. You don't want to put the record back in a paper sleeve. Most of your paper sleeves, they have fine fibers in it, and that's what sheds on the record to begin with. So by putting it in one of these clean sleeves, you're going to eliminate that problem. And I haven't had any static problems or anything like that. And also, it's kind of a great indication that, yeah, I cleaned the record, I don't have to go through this process again. Because once you clean it once like this, you don't have to do it again. And, even new records benefit from this. If you've ever watched a video on how records are made, you can see they're not made in clean, pristine conditions. People are touching them with their fingers. It's in a big oily factory. They just kind of drop, So when you get a new record and it's got crackle on it, I'm sure you're pretty ticked off. You just spent 20 bucks on a new record. Go ahead and give it a clean. You've got nothing to lose. I've done that and it made a world of difference. So that's my procedure. And this is, again, the Groovmaster, Groovmaster. You can DIY this with some PVC, contraptions or whatever, and some all thread. Probably not going to work as well, but these are, I'm not going to lie to you, they're kind of expensive now. I think last time I heard they were about $65. When I bought these years ago, they weren't nearly that expensive. So it's kind of an investment, but when you think about how many records you have, you price it out. You're only talking pennies probably in the end per record. And this thing's going to last forever. The way the guy makes it, it's fantastic. So that's my procedure. It's a little bit about how I clean records and why people do things the way they do it. I've done a lot of reading, so this is what I've decided on, which is good enough for me. Some people this wouldn't work at all. It's not nearly as in-depth. So. And some other people are on the opposite side. They just use actual hand soap and their fingers, and they just kind of wash it. I've even seen people wash their records with Windex, which, the record can certainly handle it, but I don't know if that's really working or not. Anyway, thank you very much.